Today I will be showing you how I made $4,386 in 5 minutes and how you can do it too. So first, let's look at my trading report from today, right? So you can see that I made $4,386 and I was in one trade for 5 minutes. And it says two trades because I was in multiple positions. So I took one position, I took another position, and then I got out of them both at the same time. So I was in one complete trade, right? So I had one trade and it was a winning trade. And these are all my stats. Right, you can see that that was the first position, and that was the second position, and it totaled around $4,500. And you can see I lost some money to fees, so I came out with $4,386. So now let's go to the charts and look at how I found this trade. So if you look right here, you can see that we have opens, lows, and highs of sessions, right? So this is the low of the London session. This is the open of the London session. This is the open of the New York session, right? So today I was looking for a bounce around the New York session, right? So New York session opens at 8 a.m. So we can see that right here. And what I did was I took a play off of the bounce of New York session. So I had a trade on right here. And I said, okay, if we bounce off of New York session, then I think we'll continue to go up. And we did. And I actually sent this out as an alert in my premium Discord. I said, I think we're going to bounce off. I'll actually show you guys. I said, let's see how we react to this New York Open right here. We could see a potential bounce up at this 5211 level if we close above the New York Open zone. What did we do? We bounced exactly right when I said we would around that New York Open, right? So a lot of members in the premium were able to get in on this trade and make money. So what's really nice about this trade is it's a very simple trade. So you can see that price starts out at right here, right, which is the open of the New York session. Price comes up and then it does a little pullback, right? Does a little drop, and then it bounces right off of the London Open, and it also bounces off of the New York Open. I wanted to take this trade up the New York Open just because I wanted a little bit more momentum. I wanted a little bit more confirmation that we were going to go up. So I took this trade and I made money. And so did the members in the premium Discord. They traded this trade with me, so they were able to make money as well, right? So why is this trade so important? Because a lot of times what price will do is price will open and then it will return to around where it opened, right? So on the 15-minute time frame, or even on the 1 hour time frame, we can see this. So if you look right here, you can see that price opened right here, and it came down and it returned a little bit below where it opened, right? So it made a new low. So this would be the wick, and this is right when we got in, and then it went up, right? So we're just looking for these small pullbacks, right? These small pullbacks. You can see that price opened right here, came down, and then bounced right here because price was taking out the buyers from here, right? So a lot of the buyers, they got stopped out right here. They got stopped out because they had their stop loss here. But we know how to trade with this because we're using liquidity and we're using the opens, highs, and lows of the session. So we know where the liquidity is and we know where price is likely to have a large move. So I sent out the alert and I said, let's get into some longs right here. I said we could do a potential bounce, meaning we're going to bounce. Bounce means come up, right? So we took this trade based off of the bounce of New York Open and we were able to make some money, right? So opens, highs, and lows of sessions are all great places to start looking for trades because these are areas where price will have a large reaction. The reason I don't love support and resistance is because if you were trading support and resistance, it wouldn't really make any sense here because you'd have a support line here and you'd probably have a support line here and then resistance like right here. And it doesn't really make much sense. But if you use highs and lows of sessions, it makes lots of sense because we could use this previous high, right? So this high would be around here. And we could have actually taken a short position, right, off the rejection of this high as well. So I like to use liquidity and I like to use opens, highs, and lows because that's where the market actually stores its orders, right? Because all liquidity means is how easily can you buy and sell something, right? So how liquid are you? And liquidity on the charts means areas where there's lots of orders, right? Because the more orders there are, the easier it will be to buy and sell a certain asset because you're trading with more volume, right? And these big banks, they need volume to trade because if I'm a big bank that's putting in an order for tens of millions of dollars or hundreds of millions of dollars, I need volume. I need people that are going to allow me to fill those orders, right? So that's why I look for liquidity because I want to trade with the banks, not against the banks, right? So let's look at this, the recap of the trade, right? So I said, let's see how we react to this New York Open right here. We could see a potential bounce. We saw a bounce. It was beautiful. A lot of people got in the trade, right? So she was actually taking her first option trade today. She said just the first day of the week and already in profits. Complete beginner too. She's very new. and she watched the course. She looked at the watch list and she made some money. She made 150 bucks, right? And this was actually his first day trading futures. This is Jace. Not bad for my first day trading futures following the daily game plan and premium courses. I'd like to emphasize how important and honestly game changing it was hearing my words and echoing in his head about sticking to his strategy, right? Because I emphasize sticking to one strategy. I emphasize sticking to my strategy or whatever strategy works for you. And I actually have a full guide on how my strategy works inside of premium. So he watched that and he learned a lot about his trading style. And he also really liked the mindset courses because I also have a huge course on psychology because most beginner traders, they have a lot of problems with mindset, right? Like they don't know how to get out of a trade. They don't know when to get in a trade because they're fearful or they're greedy. So he watched that and he learned and he made $440 on his first day trading futures. So I think that's super cool, right? And this is Nick. Nick made a lot of money, right? Nick made a lot of money because he was able to build a strategy that suits his personality, right? So I gave him my complete strategy guide. He's inside of premium. And then he used that to tweak it a little bit and use it to find his own trades. And he made 4 trades yesterday or today because he's in Australia, so it's like ahead of time. But so $2,100, so $2,100, and he was only trading for around 15 minutes. So that means he probably took like a few 4-minute trades, right? So I think that's great because he was able to use my strategy to find his own trade. So he had 4 trades, 4 wins, and he made $2,100 just from joining premium, understanding my strategy, using my strategy, and kind of tweaking it to fit his trading style. And he was able to find his own trades and make money. I love seeing this, right? And you can see that he's using my strategy and using all the stuff I go over in the full strategy guide, and he's making money, right? So I love to see this. I love to see this. So I'm just going to go over the importance of building a good strategy real quick. A lot of you, you have no idea what you're doing when you look at the charts because you have all these different things going on. You have all these different indicators, like your chart might look like it has all this different stuff on it. Like look, it has some of this and EMAs and all this different stuff, right? So like when your chart looks like this, how are you going to make any money? Because you don't know what's going on, right? So we like to simplify things. We like to teach actual strategy that works, right? We like to teach a strategy that people can look at and it makes sense to them and they know when to take a trade, when not to take a trade, when to get in a trade, when to get out of a trade, right? So we're all about simplifying it and making it simple enough so you can actually make money with it. Because a lot of you look on the charts and it looks terrible, right? So our strategy is very simple. You can see the trade I showed you earlier today was a very simple trade. It was just price coming down back to New York Open and then taking a nice bounce. And we took the trade based off that and we made $4,386 in 5 minutes, right? So that's a little trade review and I will talk to you all soon.